Hey guys, welcome back to the farm. I am trying to do too many things. I wanted to get peas. I'm gonna try soaking my peas this year, see what happens, if they'll germinate a little faster. I actually have more problems with bunnies than anything. But the other reason I want to soak them is because I was hoping to plant last week, and last week I wasn't worried about it. It was raining. I'm like, oh, we'll be fine. But now I'm kind of like, it's almost mid-April. I think today's the 11th. And it seems like we have short springs. So our springs are super cold in the beginning, and then it turns hot. I'm hearing it from several other vloggers and stuff. It seems like they jump from spring to summer, or late winter to summer, and the plants don't really like that, which is fine. Well, it's not fine. That's why I'm doing this. Maybe I should edit better. So I'm gonna try soaking my peas, see if that jump starts them a little bit. I'm almost debating about doing something with my carrots, because I have a really difficult time growing carrots. They take forever. But these are treated seeds because I accidentally ordered them that way, but I'm not worried about that. I'm a farm girl. Though they'll grow out of it. But I'm gonna soak all of these. This is a lot. This was originally probably a 5-pound bag. No, 1-pound bag, sorry. That I had originally purchased for microgreens, and they came treated, and I was like, well, I don't know that I can use them for microgreens, especially since I was selling them at the farmer's market, but I can use them for my own garden. They're a sugar bond pea, which is a sugar snap pea, and I think if they go beyond the real snap, sweet, nice stage, I can use them as regular peas. And I would like to grow more regular peas, because that is one of the things I'm trying to grow more of, to cut out from the grocery store. It's not super expensive from the grocery store, but like we've talked about before, grocery store prices are kind of insane. So I'm just going to cover these in a little bit more. I'm gonna put a little bit more than just covering, because they'll swell up and everything. And then I have these Alaska peas. I think they were packaged for, yeah, last year. And I had 2 of these, but I only planted 1 last year. And so I'm going to try soaking them, but I do have to put you down in order to get it done. Okay, the other thing I'm doing is I'm going to start soaking my onions. I'm pretty sure we talked about this when I was doing my low to no cost weed barrier in the garden. My onions came in, but I want to just kind of give them a good drink, even though we've had a ton of rain, and get them jump started. Hopefully we can get to them today. And those I'm probably only going to soak for like an hour or so, because I feel like if I soak them too long, they're just going to get mushy and rye, and I definitely don't want that. These are not Dixon Dale. They're from Morgan County Seeds in Missouri, and it's been a fantastic company that I purchased from, and they're very, sorry for the light, they're very well priced, in my opinion. So we have our peas soaking. Our regular peas are sugar snap peas. And I think that's it for now. I'm gonna go outside and do a bunch of work. If you're kind of wobbly, I apologize, because I got a tripod for my phone, and I'm not sure how stable it is. You might fall over in a stiff breeze. Oh, sorry, you might fall over in a stiff breeze. I'm gonna move you a little bit. All right, here we go. So I haven't gotten very far. I did do another round, but I don't think anybody realizes how much cardboard and how much straw it takes to properly cover. And it takes a lot. Colton brought this stuff back for me. There's Raisin the dog, in case you've never been introduced. I think I'm gonna have to do what I tried to do last year and failed. I'm gonna create a fence with chicken wire right around in here for our peas to climb, and hopefully most of the bunnies will leave it alone. At least they will the inside. I'll lose the outside. But then I'm gonna put maybe lettuce and carrots inside, because for some reason, even though we have the bunny terminator they just decimate my garden overnight. I've tried to do broccoli, cauliflower. I left them uncovered like one night and they were gone. So mad. And I even purchased that, so I was even more mad. But the other thing I'm gonna do is, I guess I'm gonna have to do it somewhere in here. Sorry, I'm not very good in this section, is I'm gonna do potato towers. I finally found some seed potatoes, and funny story, I walked into the store to look for chicks that were 50% off, and I saw that the 10-pound bags of potatoes were 50% off, but nobody, the clerk didn't know that they were. And I'm like, there was a sign there. He's like, okay, I'll give you 50% off. So I was struggling so hard at paying $1.50 a pound for seed potatoes, because I can get them for like 50 cents at the store to eat. And they sprout as soon as they hit my house. They sprout. You know, I was debating about getting a 10-pound bag or more from the grocery section in order to start our potatoes. But I told Colton that I don't want to do potatoes anymore. They're cheap. They're terrible to plant and harvest. We just don't have good luck with potatoes. But of course, I got the bug this year. Poor guy. And I'm gonna try towers. I have some chicken wire that my dad isn't using anymore, and I'm gonna make a tower out of that with compost and straw. But I need a ton more straw still. And I have some chicken manure that's been composting for the last few years. I'm going to see if deep down I have enough to help start that, because I have another few things that I want to do as far as starting with that compost. So I'm going to get back to work. We're going to talk a little bit about potatoes. I set my first tower up. This is right here. The wire is like a 2x4 wire, 2 inches by 4 inches. And it appears to be about 5 feet tall. I would recommend shorter. I'm a tall person, and I realized I had some bagged compost that I was gonna put in here that I had for my plant starts, and I about wrecked the whole thing trying to lift that 40-pound bag plus water into the thing. My potato tower is about 4 foot wide. I can show it to you in a little bit, but I wanted to talk potatoes because I was getting very frustrated, first about purchasing potatoes because of the price, and secondly, my local options. Like, I almost shipped in potatoes, but the price to ship them in was astronomical. So I found these on sale, as I said earlier, or I think on sale. And I have a Yukon Gold, a Viking potato, and a Burbank potato. I believe the Burbank is a type of russet, which I watch a lot of 1870s Homestead, and she likes the russet potatoes. I believe it is. They seem to store better for her. And we're in a somewhat similar growing climate. I think I'm a few weeks behind her, but it's similar. So I'm hoping that these will help store. The Viking, every time I looked up the Viking potato, it came up as a Viking purple with a purple skin and a white interior. But looking at these potatoes through the bag, they look more like a red potato, which I prefer the red potatoes. So we'll see how they go. And then these Yukon Golds are pretty standard everywhere, and I just thought I'd try them too. See what kind we like, see which kind store better. I have a surprise coming in the mail again that we might be canning some potatoes. But the other thing that frustrated me was when I was looking up days to harvest, they varied, not just in variety, but like some of the Burbank said 70 to 90 days, some said 110 to 150 days. It was a huge span of days to maturity. And one, I think that depends on your climate. Two, the year, because every growing season is different. And three, when you start your days to harvest. Do you start them the day you put them in the ground, or do you start it when you think they've started sprouting and growing and everything? So I don't know for sure how long these potatoes, say they did last, let's see, 120 days would be 4 months, is that right? 120 divided by 30, 4 months. So if I plant them today, it's mid-April, May, June, July, August. So maybe by mid-August, we'll be able to harvest them. And in the past, we left them in the ground quite a while because we just couldn't get to them. It was a huge backbreaking endeavor, and we would only do like a 10-foot row. It was just, for me, it was very frustrating and just not worth it. So I'm hoping that when the potato towers are done, we can just open them up, everything can fall out, and we'll have a gold mine. I don't know. I did put that compost in. I am gonna need a ton more compost, probably even more than what's in my pile over there. But I will show you the concept of what we're doing, and then we just layer it like lasagna. We do straw, compost, potato, straw, compost, potato, straw, compost, potato. Each of these bags are 10 pounds, and I'm wondering if I can get all 3 bags in this tower. I'm not sure I should, because I think they're gonna get too top heavy, but I'm not looking forward to doing a second one because this was kind of a not fun ordeal. So this is our potato tower, and like I said, this is a 2x4 wire, and it's about 5 feet tall. I'm over 5 foot, so I'm pretty sure this is a 5 foot tall piece of fence. And the section I had, I cut it in half. And when I cut it in half, I cut it in the middle of this square. Let's see if we can get that focused better, sorry. Not very well, but you can see the ends here, and I looped one end towards the outside, and I looped one end towards the inside, because I originally was gonna push them all towards the inside, but then I realized it was starting to come apart. So this is just a safety to keep it from coming apart. You could also use zip ties if you're not very, plier savvy. My fingers would not have done this. I could have tried doing it with my fingers, but there's no way. Some of the curl from the fence being rolled up is a little not desired, but I'm gonna live with it. And then you can see where I bent this trying to put the compost in. I threw straw in, but we're just gonna do straw, compost, and then I'm gonna throw potatoes in there. Okay, so the Burbank potatoes say to harvest in fall. The other ones say late summer. So I'm gonna put the Burbanks down here. If I can get them open. And these are what the Burbanks look like. You can see they've already started sprouting. And a lot of people will cut them. I'm not gonna bother. I've heard pros and cons both ways to leaving them and to cutting them. But we're just gonna see what happens. Some of them are big and some of them are small. And I think my diameter is such that I can put 4 or 5 or 6 in if I had the ability to reach and move them, which looks like I kind of do. Ideally, you have like a little bowl in the middle, but of course I don't. That's just the way life is sometimes. All right, we're gonna call it quits on that. And I'm gonna get more straw. And I'm gonna break it up before I put it in a little bit. And then I'm gonna try to push that down just a little bit. Oh, that's a bummer. Oh man. Guys, Guys, do you ever have those days where it just, nothing can really go right? Your compost is falling out the wrong direction. You lose your bag down the tunnel. Or the tower. All right. That's gonna have to be good. Ideally, you want a better layer of compost, but c'est la vie. And here we have a 5-foot tower of potatoes. That was 2 bags, 2 10-pound bags of seed potatoes, about a 4-foot diameter tower. I did the last couple of rows, I didn't have compost, but I can always put a fertilizer in the top and have it sift down. And if you know of any Ruth Stout methods, she really doesn't use much compost to my knowledge. She uses a lot of straw, so I'm not too terribly worried. I just hope it works. I think I need to be better about putting more, there's a stick, putting more straw along the sides and making a bowl, because I did find some potatoes close to the edge, which isn't going to help for their growing. It'll probably cause problems. The other thing I forgot to note with these potatoes in researching them, they all seem to be indeterminate. So you could hill them, or you could put them in the bottom of the tower and then gradually, you know, keep putting straw on top so they grow more tubers, but I'm not going to worry about that this year. I'm just glad one is done. That took a lot out of me. I'm not in shape. Guys, if you enjoyed this at all, or you want to see how the peas, carrots, and the potatoes turn out, feel free to subscribe and like, and you can also hit the button that lets you know, like, notifications when I upload. I did not get into nearly as much as I planned. That's another topic for another video, but I am very excited that we at least got the tower, the first tower done, and I think I am going to cut the next tower in half because that was a struggle. To get everything so high, and like I said, I am tall, but it was just hard to set the potatoes right, to get the compost in right, to layer it correctly, and I think I'll be better off if I just bite the bullet and cut it down. I do need a bigger pair of side cuts, or a stronger set of hands. But at least we have one tower done. It's only taking up about 4 square feet of the garden, which leaves us room for other things like peas and carrots and tomatoes and peppers and everything like that. Side note, I do not do cucumbers because I don't like cucumbers, and we don't eat pickles. But I have one more bag to figure out what to do. I also have to take care of Ellie today, and I gotta go pick her up for a baby and me class we do. And hopefully we'll see y'all later. Again, please like, subscribe. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.